Introducing STEMoscope, an advanced stethoscope designed with STEM education and recreations in mind. Very affordable, compact, easy to use, and with rich features through an app. Traditionally, a stethoscope has to be used, and it is quite cumbersome and lacks features such as visualizing these insightful and engaging sounds and recording them for studies and sharing. We set out not only to overcome all these deficiencies, but to add portability, ease of use, and rich features to make listening to these engaging sounds a fun, informative, and entertaining experience. Turn on the STEMoscope, start the app, press listen, and you can start to hear the sounds of life. Just place the STEMoscope where you are interested and start to listen. Now, let's listen to some sound samples STEMoscope recorded. Earphones are needed because the built-in speaker in your smart device is not good at playing bass sounds. Simply put the STEMoscope over the heart. You can hear the lub-dub heart sounds. If you have a blood pressure monitor, you may listen to the blood pressure sounds. Traditionally, blood pressure is measured with a cuff and a stethoscope, and the stethoscope is used to detect the sounds of blood flow during cuff deflation, so-called Korotkoff sounds. If you have a pet, you may communicate with him or her by listening to and learning from his or her heart. You may choose to have your pet wear it so that your pet can move freely when you listen. If you are a new mom, you may record your heartbeats and play them to your baby. Your baby may enjoy them because these are the sounds your baby enjoyed when he or she was still in the womb. Trees create rich songs too. Listening to trees can reveal the connections between us and nature. Place a STEMoscope on a tree trunk and you may hear a quiet popping sound while the tree is drinking water from its roots. Or a rumbling noise can be heard when a tree moves and vibrates. With advanced audio signal processing that rivals those in a professional digital stethoscope, the STEMoscope lets you rediscover you and the world around you from a fun and informative digital listening experience. Record your womb sounds for your baby. Hear the voice of your backyard tree with your kids. Feel the heartbeats of your loved ones and your pets. Or simply modify your voice for fun. Unlimited fun, information, and education from STEMoscope. Hello, STEMoscope.
Hello, STEMoscope.
Hello, STEMoscope.
Take a look around you. In the age of smart homes, heating technology is still lagging far behind. Radiators are clunky, ugly, and cost a lot of money to run. Until now. Here at Coletta, we've solved this with Solus, the most efficient radiator in the world. Environmentally friendly, accessible to all, and extremely affordable to run.
Efficiency is the very core of Solus. In fact, our lab's testing has shown that Solus will save you between 80 and 95% of the cost of your heating. In order to make this reality, we invested time and effort in perfecting our unique graphene-based heating element and nanotech coating. This innovative technology allows Solus to be used in almost any application where there is a power source, whether it be in your apartment, off-grid, or with alternative energy sources such as solar and wind. AC or DC, it doesn't matter.
We designed Solus from the ground up, not only to reduce your heating costs, but to completely replace expensive and outdated radiators. The Solus system is modular, meaning it adapts to your living circumstance and can even move home with you. Designed to be used freestanding or wall-mounted, our eye-catching tri-layered glass build offers a sleek and reflective black finish. With Solus, we moved away from the standard metal radiator and instead we use lightweight tempered glass. Not only does this make our product super light and therefore portable, it also offers an incredibly durable and scratch-resistant finish. Solus also comes with a pre-packaged thermal regulator, which you can use to set the desired room temperature. Once the temperature is reached, the heater will automatically cycle on and off to maintain the warmth instead of running continuously. This saves you money, prevents overheated rooms, and is better for the environment. Solus is durable. We wanted to make a system that lasts. Unlike traditional heating elements, Solus doesn't suffer decreased efficiency from oxidation, meaning that it will still be just as efficient 30 years from now as it is today. At Coletta, we have years of R&D behind Solus. We have done our prototyping and laboratory tests. We already have preliminary agreements with suppliers for every single component that makes up the complete product. Which brings us to now. We want to bring you on board for the final stages of our journey towards mass production. With the help of Kickstarter and your backing, we'll invest in our first production run, raw materials, and the warehouse space needed to make Solus a reality. By backing Solus now, you'll save money on your heating costs and make a more sustainable future possible for all.
Hey everyone, Tyler here. Now that I'm about halfway through my Kickstarter, I thought I'd give everyone one continuous shot of all the progress I've made, the functionality, and the tools that I plan to include with the host. So what we've got here is a 10-inch host. When I zoom in here, you'll be able to see all the different tools I've got. For example, quick access to the Wi-Fi, SSID, and password. The weather, I've built a little widget there, and I've got a couple of widgets here that actually control different aspects of my system. Using a Home Assistant backend, I can control thousands of different devices. It's more a matter of just building the different libraries. For example, I've got a Belkin switch. I've got a Nest unit, a Harmony remote, Roku. Each one of these is all being controlled by this device itself. And I'm building the front end to make it so you can see how everything goes. So, for example, I can go here. I can turn all my lights on. You'll see it's turned the different switches on. It's also triggered a context space. I can turn each one of these individually on and off. I can also control my Nest. So if I turn my heat up a couple of notches to 68, you'll see it's actually controlled that one there directly. And I can even, if I want, turn the TV on. So that's going to go and that's going to send the command to turn my TV on. What it's also going to do is trigger the command on my Harmony remote for Watch TV. So there you go. TV is watching. Now, to give you more extra functionality each one of these, I've got a few different tabs at the bottom here too. So if I change my page to, let's say, the TV page, you'll notice it's still loading, but what it's doing now is populating it. So TV is playing. That's the activity. The input should be to HDMI 1. So if you want to give your guests key to what how to actually control the TV themselves. These are the different settings. And then this is the remote they should be using. Now, because I have full control of the Roku, the remote, all of that, I can go in and I could say, oh, Netflix is installed, HBO Go, each one of those. I want to watch Netflix. By pressing that button, it's going to control my TV now to trigger the watch Netflix option. So now Netflix is loading up. The thing about having everything built in now is I've got context-based settings. So now I've got full control of Netflix. I can go through and I can control which one I want to use, hit select. I've got volume control. And another thing you'll notice is it's telling me I have to use this particular remote to control the Roku. So that's basic control, all being housed in here. Add a few other settings. For example, because I have control of Alexa devices and Spotify, I can go and I say, oh, I want to listen to a certain soundtrack. By hitting Greatest Showman soundtrack, now my Alexa is going to start playing it in the background. Again, I've got full control, play, pause, next, all of those. If you'll notice, I've tried to make this Airbnb friendly. I want to be able to sell this to Airbnb hosts so they can give their guests ease of use, that kind of functionality. So I'm going to show you what each of those different tools is. So if I go again to the home screen, and I'm going to refresh my page as if I'm walking into a brand new house. I walk in, I come in, and I see this on the counter. Check in. You should be checking in to this system. By hitting that, now it's going to ask me, give it a second while I wait for it to check in. It's going to ask me, what do I want my smart key, my lock at the front to be? I can set my own code now so I feel safe so that previous guests don't know what my code is. I feel safe for the duration of my stay. I'm going to go ahead and set one. Hit enter. It's going to give me a quick little reminder. This is your new key code. I can also add functionality so it can text me that number directly. I hit that, and it's actually going to keep that down here for me. So for the duration of my stay, if I happen to forget, there it is set for that. I've also added different settings, especially for Airbnb guests, where you can have your local favorites page. So where should I go for brunch or dinner or breweries? And each one of these is all going to be customizable based off of who it is or where it's being installed. And again, this is all built right into it. Brief little description, make it easy. Okay, these are the different things I want to see. Now, one of the things that I'm really striving for, something that kind of geared all of this, is ease of use. If anybody's familiar with home automation kits, especially Home Assistant, you can add just about anything, add all sorts of different scripts, but you need a decent amount of coding experience. I want to bring home automation to the typical or the casual user, somebody who isn't familiar with scripting and doesn't want to learn it. They just want to be able to build their own simple setup here. So what I've done is I've started working on a control panel. So if I slide this to the side and bring my laptop up here, you'll notice here's my panel, my music panel. I can go in now and say, oh, I want to add a switch for my TV. Hit that. I can drag it around, move it where I want, scale it up and down, do all sorts of different settings where now I can build my own user page. So if I go back, if I go here now and say, okay, I want my light switch here, my playlist here, or for example, I don't want this anymore, bring it over to the trash, it's gone. I want to change some settings on the switch. So I want it to look like a power bulb, maybe change the label, some settings. And all of this is functionality that I want to implement into the setup. But this is what takes time. This is why I'm doing the Kickstarter. Because if I reach my goal, that tells me there's a need in all these tools. And I can develop them further. So then all you need to do is buy the host, install it. Say I've got a Logitech remote. I've got Belkin switches, I've got a Nest, whatever it is you have, you just a couple of check marks, maybe log into your Nest account, and everything's going to be ready to go. Drag, drop, some preset tablets, all of that. I want to make this super simple for anyone to use, and my goal is to make it a one-time purchase. You buy this, install it, and it's ready to go. Some other things that weren't mentioned is It's got its own server built into it, which means it doesn't need to reach out to the internet for a lot of things to control. And it also means that this page can be loaded on multiple devices or even my phone. So as I'm walking through, I can toggle and say, hey, I want to see this window, I want to see this window, and actually control it from my phone, multiple phones, and none of that is an additional purchase. It's all going to be built right into this. So hopefully that kind of covered everything that I've got going. And again, if you want to see this happen, come to life, support my Kickstarter, a couple bucks, even buy one. Anything's going to help. I've got 2 weeks left. Please, and thank you.